This is the Moto G30. It's the more expensive model between the two that Motorola has launched in the market. The other one, of course, is the Moto G10 Power, which we have reviewed on our channel. So if you haven't checked that out, well, do check it after this review. Now coming back to the G30, it looks like Motorola has stuck to the basics. So you get a Qualcomm Snapdragon 662 processor, a big 5000 mAh battery, and a quad camera setup. So on paper, it looks like it is capable of handling daily day-to-day tasks. But how well does it translate to real life performance? That's what you're gonna find out. Hello everyone, I'm Aditya, you're watching Gadgets 360 and this is the full review of the Moto G30. Now, by the end of this video, if you find this helpful, do subscribe to the Gadgets 360 YouTube channel and click on that bell icon so that you are notified whenever we upload a new video.
The Moto G30 has a fresh design and looks different compared to older Motorola smartphones. It comes with a gradient pattern that helps hide fingerprints quite well. You also get an IP52 rating for water resistance. And the SIM tray itself has a rubber seal to help keep water out. The front is dominated by a 6.5-inch display with a dual notch at the top. Because of its tall aspect ratio, the phone is narrow and easy to grip. The display has a refresh rate of 90Hz, which makes the UI appear a lot smoother while scrolling through the menus. I found the display brightness to be strictly okay outdoors. Now let's quickly spec out the smartphone. The Moto G30 rocks a Qualcomm Snapdragon 662 processor and it's paired with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal storage. Remember that this is the only variant of the smartphone that's available here. You can expand storage but at the cost of a SIM card since the phone has a hybrid SIM slot. Apart from that, you get a 5000 mAh battery that can be charged with the bundled 20-watt charger. As this is a Motorola smartphone, you get the classic near-stock Android experience while running the latest version of Android 11. You also have Moto Actions, which are shortcut gestures, so you can make a double chop motion to turn on the flashlight or swipe quickly to get into split screen mode. The game time feature lets you block incoming calls and notifications and also switch to your favorite apps quickly while you're gaming. The synergy between the hardware and software is evident here, as the Moto G30 delivers decent performance for the price and it had no issues keeping up with my casual usage. The Moto G30 ran Call of Duty Mobile well and defaulted to the high graphics preset and medium frame rate. The game was playable at these settings without any stutter. After playing for 15 minutes, I noticed that the phone was slightly warm to the touch around the camera module and it also made a 4% battery drop. I did not have any issues with battery life either, as the phone lasted for about a day and a half easily with my usage. In our HD video loop test, the Moto G30 ran for 19 hours 43 minutes, which is a good time, albeit slightly lower than what the Moto G10 Power could manage. The 20-watt charger takes the phone from 0 to 34% in 30 minutes and 63% in about an hour, which is decent enough. Let's come down to the cameras, 4 of them to be precise. A 64MP primary, an 8MP ultra-wide, a 2MP macro and a 2MP depth camera. Daylight shots taken with the Moto G30 turned out well with good details and fairly accurate colors. Text at a distance was legible. It seems that the smartphone sharpens image slightly. The AI was quick to detect any scene and enabled HDR when required. Shots taken with the ultra-wide-angle camera did not have as much detail but offered a much wider field of view. There was no barrel distortion in the output. Close-up shots turned out well, and had good detail. The Moto G30 was quick to lock focus and also applied a soft bokeh effect to the background. Portrait shots also turned out great and the phone managed good separation between the subject and the background. The phone also lets you set the level of blur before taking a shot. The macro camera lets you get super close to a subject, but the resolution is limited to 2 megapixels. I found the quality of macros to be average. In low light, the phone takes about 3 seconds to take a shot in the regular photo mode. The output is decent, but detail was missing in the shadows. The AI also applied smoothing to reduce grain in the output. In night mode, the Moto G30 needed about 6 seconds to take a shot and the resulting images were too bright. The Moto G30 was too aggressive with night mode, resulting in blown out highlights, but these shots did have better details in the shadows. Selfies taken with the 13 megapixel selfie camera were good in daylight. Photo shot in a bright environment had aggressive HDR applied. Portrait mode is available for the selfie camera and it does a good job of separating the subject from the background. Low light selfies were acceptable, but those taken with night mode had better colors. Video recording tops out at 1080p for the primary rear camera as well as the selfie shooter. Video is stabilized and this phone did a much better job in daylight than at night. The Moto G30 does try to stabilize footage at night, but there is a shimmer effect in the output. Motorola has priced the Moto G10 Power and the Moto G30 quite close to each other, and choosing between them is not all that easy. The Moto G30 offers slightly better performance than the Moto G10 Power but has a smaller battery. It still isn't the best in the price range, and if you are looking specifically for performance, the Realme Narzo 30A offers better. If you don't mind spending a little extra, the new Redmi Note 10 offers much better value for your money.
The Moto G30 doesn't particularly excel at one thing. In fact, it does a bit of everything right. Now, you get good cameras, the software is free of bloat, and the battery performance too is good. And the high refresh rate display, it's a noteworthy touch. Now, you're not going to go wrong with the Moto G30, but if you are willing to trade camera and overall performance for battery life, then the Moto G10 Power is worth considering too. So that was my full review of the Moto G30. Now, what do you think about the smartphone? Do let me know that in the comments down below. And as always, for all things tech, stay tuned to gadgets360.com.